Welcome to the Prophecy Club. Today we're going to be talking about, has the first seal been opened? More specifically, has the tribulation started? Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you the answer to this right up front, but the rest of it is going to be very powerful and very important. No, I don't think the tribulation has started for several reasons, but one of them is the great revival must come before the tribulation starts. And I talked about that yesterday in the sermon, so I'm going to move on. But anyway, so what do we watch for? In other words, when the tribulation starts, if we were to miss the opening of the first seal, if we were to miss and he confirms the covenant with many for 1 week, if we were to miss that, what would we watch for to know that we were in the tribulation? Well, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to show you today. First of all, Revelation 6:1. This is what we watch for, and we pray that we get to hear this and notice it. Revelation 6:1, and the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as it were the noise of thunder. I want to hear that noise of thunder. I want to know when that first seal is opened. I've prayed many times, probably you have too. We want to know, because if we know when that first seal is opened, all we have to do is move 2,520 days later. That's the day Jesus returns. And I believe it will be opened on a Feast of Trumpets. 7 years later, 2,520 days later, on another Feast of Trumpets is when he will return. That's the whole point. That's the whole purpose of the feasts, is to show us when God is doing what he is doing. Now, let's skip on down, because it says, and I saw, behold, a white horse. And he sat upon him at a boat. Notice he didn't have any arrows. Had a bow, and a crown was given to him, and went forth conquering to conquer. Now, a lot of people think, oh, well, this is the devil. I mean, I used to even think, well, maybe this is, the Pope. Well, okay, hang on. Here's the way you can know that. Does God give crowns to the devils? No. Okay. Who does God give crowns to? Well, us, his people, and his angels. So when he says a crown was given to him, we know that this is God's angel. So God sends out an angel, which just happens to be riding a white horse, and he had a bow but no arrows. However, he went forth conquering and to conquer. Means one of the things we can watch for to be able to spot when the tribulation has started, or even when it's getting close, is when we started to see a lot of big wars. I'm not talking about small ones. I'm talking about major wars like Russia and China and the United States involved in war. Remember that. Let's go on. Now let's go to the second seal, Revelation 6:3. I saw when he opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, come and see. And there went out another horse that was red. Power is given him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. There's the key. Now, yes, the voice said, the 7 seals play over 7 years, the 7 trumpets play over 7 months, and the 7 vials play over 7 days. But it did not necessarily say that there's 1 seal per year, any more than 1 trumpet per month, or 1 vial. Now, obviously 1 vial per day. But in my opinion, I think the first and second seal probably play pretty quickly, as in maybe a few weeks to a few months apart. In other words, if we want to be able to watch for the tribulation getting close to start, or to know when it has started, if we miss the 2 big signs, it would be to watch for war. It says they take peace from the earth. So, is peace beginning to leave the earth? That's the question. They'll kill one another, and in him was given a great sword. Again, all of that is war. 6:5. When he opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, come and say, and I beheld, and lo, a black horse. And he that sat upon had a pair of balance in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. And I have prayed about this and studied and researched for years, and it was not until just recently that I think I got the understanding on this. So when it says a measure of wheat for a penny and 3 measures of barley for a penny, I think there's a double meaning. Yes, I think it is saying that basically it's a day's work for a day's food. In other words, nobody's getting ahead. You work all day long just to get enough food to eat that day. But I believe it's also saying when it says wheat, see, those washed in the blood of the Lamb are referred to as the wheat. And then the barley is referred to the Jews, or those that are resurrected on the first fruits. So I believe he's saying that his attention is going to turn from only the wheat or only those washed in the blood, but also those over to the Jews or the barley. And I believe it's also saying that about 3 times more wheat will be saved than the barley. It means 3 times more Gentiles will be saved during that time than the Jews, sad to say. So, what it's saying is the angel of the white horse is saying war. The red horse is saying war. The black horse is saying things get expensive. There's very little food. Also, I believe I'm about to be able to show you that China is itching for a fight. Russia is like a coiled snake, ready to strike. America is a divided nation. United we stand, divided we fall. I believe we are in the process of falling. Matter of fact, really, we've been in the process of falling since 1963, as soon as they took the prayer out of the schools. Then, I believe the internal revolution spoken of by Dimitri Duduman is ready to start any day now. I wouldn't even say any week, any day now. It could start any day. Here's an article. This comes to us from HalTurnerRadioShow.com. Headline says, China massing troops along India border. India says responding in kind with, quote, large deployments. So here China is causing problem with India. Now, remember China. Hang on, there's more. The article goes on to say the decades-long dispute between China and India took a dramatic turn today. China is sending 100,000 additional troops to the border along the tanks with tanks, artillery, and armored vehicles. India, surprised by the move, sends its responding in kind. Says it's in responding in kind. Now, I'm going to skip the rest of it. You can read it if you want to. There's more. I got to move because there's so much happening today. Also, HalTurnerRadioShow.com. Headline, China sends 38 military planes into Taiwan airspace. Now, in the past, it's been like twosies and threesies and, 5 or 10. 38? 38 military planes flying over the little island of Taiwan. That's big. I also had a lady visit our church one time, and she sent me this. She told me that she saw this. It was a vision. She says, I was looking through a camera lens, and I saw a giant man walking down the streets of China, towering over the buildings. He turned and looked right at me and said, when China holds its head up high, look up, for your redemption draweth nigh. Looks like China's starting to hold up her head. Now, this comes to us from Reuters. Headline, Russia test fires submarine launched hypersonic Zircon missile for the first time. Yeah, they've tested them, but not from a submarine in the past. It says it's a new generation of unrivaled arms systems, and it has the combination of speed, maneuverability, altitude. Hypersonic missiles makes them difficult to track and intercept. Does it sound like we're getting close to war to you? Because it does to me. Then, April 22, 1996, this comes to us from Dimitri Duduman. He said, I prayed, then went to bed, and while I was still awake, suddenly I heard a trumpet sound. A voice cried out to me and said, stand. In my vision, I was in America. I walked out of my home and began to look for one who had spoken to me. As I looked, I saw 3 men dressed alike. 2 of the men carried weapons. One of the men armed came to me and said, I woke you up to show you what is to come. He said, come with me. I didn't know where I was being taken, but we reached a certain place, and he said, stop here. A pair of binoculars was handed to me and told me to look through them. Stand there, don't move, and look. You will see what they're planning and preparing for America. As I was looking, I saw a great light, and a dark cloud appeared over it. I saw the president of Russia, a short, chubby man. Now, it's saying the president of Russia is a short, chubby man. Well, that's not who is president of Russia right now, so I want to believe that this is not ready to happen yet. Russia, a short, chubby man who said he was the president of China. Now, there is some question. Is this talking about the president of China being short and chubby? Well, neither one of them right now, either Russia or China, are short and chubby. The point is, I want to think that it's not ready to happen. And 2 others. The last 2 also said where they were from, but I didn't understand. I gathered it was some part of Russian-controlled territory. The men stepped out of the cloud, and the Russian president began to speak to the Chinese one. I will give you the land with all the people. Now, here comes the important part. But you must free Taiwan of the Americans. Do not fear, we will attack them from behind. Now, I think it's saying that they're about ready to go with that. I mean, I think they're getting ready for all this. Again, I don't think it's ready to start yet. We've seen too many things that are not ready, but it's getting close. That's the point. Then a voice said to me, "Watch where the Russians penetrate America." I saw these words being written: Alaska, Minnesota, Florida. Then the man spoke again. "When America goes to war with China, the Russians will strike without warning." Now, this is a real big point of contention. This was never written where I get so many emails on this. What is exactly it saying? So who is the man? That's the question. I want to believe that it is not the angel talking to him, because it says, "When the man spoke again, when America goes to war with China, the Russians will strike without warning." I don't think that that's the angel, because it's about to say that that's what they were planning. So I don't know if it was the Chinese or the Russian guy, but it's not the angel talking. I believe that. And I'll show you why in a second. And the two other presidents spoke. "We, too, will fight for you." Each had a place already planned as a point of attack. All of them shook hands and hugged. Then they all signed a contract. One of them said, "We're sure that Korea and Cuba will also be on our side, too. Without a doubt, together, we can destroy America." The president of Russia began to speak incessantly. "Why let ourselves be led by the Americans? Why not rule the world ourselves? They have to be kicked out of Europe, too. Then I can do what I please with Europe." Now, here's the angel talking. The man standing beside me asked, "This is what you saw. They act as friends, and they say they respect the treaties made together. However," here it is, here's the point, "but everything I've shown you," mean the things that he had previously shown you, is how it's going to really happen. Meaning, then he'll raise up China, Japan to meet other nations. They'll go against the Russians and defeat the Russians. So it's only saying that they plan this, but the way Dmitry was told, "Fall of America start with an internal revolution, start by the communists," that is the way it'll really happen. So they're planning to attack, but the way he is told is the way it's really going to happen. "You must tell them what is being planned to get America. Then when it comes to pass, the people will remember the words that the Lord has spoken." "Who are you?" I asked. "I'm the protector of America. America's sin has reached God." See, that's straight out of Revelation, where it says the sins reached the Holy One. God has decided to punish with fire. So it's further confirmation this whole thing is from God. America's sin has reached God. He will allow this destruction, for he can no longer stand such wickedness. God, however, still has people that worship him with a clean heart, as they do his work. He has prepared a heavenly army to save those people. I do not think he's talking about the rapture, and I specifically had several conversations with Dmitry. He does not believe in a pre-trib rapture. "As I looked, a great army, well armed and dressed in white, appeared before me." "Do you see that?" the man asked. "This army will go to battle." Now notice it didn't say this army is going to suck people off the earth. Talking about they go to battle means they're going to be there to provide and protect. "This army go to battle to save my chosen ones. Then the difference between the godly and the ungodly would be evidence." Now, so back to our point. Our point is, if we're getting close to the tribulation, we would begin to see people preparing for war. If we're in the tribulation, we would begin to see those wars start. So here's a couple of articles. This comes from HowTurnRadioShow.com. Top left corner says, "Breaking news. China fires a nuclear-capable missile directly over Sydney, Australia." That's a shot across the bow. Next headline, "China's Evergrande misses second interest payment on U.S. bond debt." So China's in trouble financially, at least part of it. Then below, today, China sends 52 military aircraft into Taiwan airspace. That was as of yesterday, Sunday. Then Israel reportedly attacks Iran territory proper with a missile strike on alleged nuke facility. So now we're seeing involving Israel, but there's more. This is just from today. China sends now 77 warplanes into Taiwan, vows to crush the country. Below, the headline says, Taiwanese foreign minister warns his country is preparing for war with China. I'll read that again. Taiwanese foreign minister warns his country is preparing for war with China and asks Australia for help. Ask Australia to back them up. Well, if you look here, China just fired a missile over Australia. Now Taiwan is asking them to help. Does it look like the tribulation is getting close to you? I would say so. I don't think the tribulation has started, or this war would probably already be going. But it does look like peace is getting ready to leave the earth. Next headline, U.S. very concerned about China's provocative military activity near Taiwan. Further confirmation. This comes to us from Newsmax. Headline, Kash Patel to Newsmax. Durham's subpoenas show he's following the money. He calls for bank records as the best way to prove criminal corruption is to follow the money. Wait a minute. How's that have anything to do with Russia and China? It has everything to do with it, because what this is saying is this is another thing that is proving to us that massive arrests are following. They're coming. Probably already been going on, so we are told, since 2017. Means that as the cabal, as the Moloch and the Baal worshippers getting arrested, they don't like it. So the way they strike back, see, this is them getting arrested and them getting subpoenas and indictments served on them. So how do they react? These are the ways they react. Here's another one. Headline, America, we have a situation. La Palma is shaking so badly it's emanating gravity waves. Next headline, M7.2 earthquake strikes near Fiji. Next headline, west side of La Palma volcano cone has collapsed. See, Matthew 24:7 says, for nation will rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. So here we have an earthquake in Fiji. We have La Palma having the volcano shake. So again, question, has the tribulation started? No, but I do think it is near. Here's another Iceland volcano that's been going off now for, pretty close to a year. Volcanoes. So I looked it up. How many volcanoes are active right now? I'm not talking about the minor ones. I'm talking about major ones. This is as of October 4th, 2021. Suwanos, Jima, Procatepet, Central Mexico, can't say the word, Fuego, Guatemala, Sangay, Ecuador, Sabancaya, Peru. That's 5 more major volcanoes that have just erupted here recently. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up, I've covered this several times, is Daniel 9:24 says 70 weeks, or 490 years, of judgment has been decreed against Jerusalem. But 483 of those years have been fulfilled. Then you skip down to verse 27, and it tells you how those last 7 years will start. And he shall confirm the covenant with many, I believe that's many nations, for 1 week, or 1 Shabuah, or 1 7-year period. So I don't understand these people to say the tribulation is only 3.5 years. I don't understand that, because it very clearly says 1 Shabuah. Again, a couple is 2, a dozen is 12. To them, a Shabuah is 7. Right there it says it's 7. And there's 483 years already up. And if you tie that with Daniel chapter 4, and the beast is given a beast's heart for 7 more years. And it repeats itself, the stump and the whole thing there. Now the point is this saying that we're in the tribulation? I don't think so. But I do think it's close. That's my point. So here's the way it all lines up. So we got a total of 7 times 70 is 490 years. At this point, the judgment would be over. 483 years is gone, leaving 7 years left. So what does that mean? Here's an article. I already covered it the other day. Pope Francis launches a 7-year Laudato Si, his action plan, and he says it's going to start this year, talking about how Mother Earth must be put above humans. Well, in other words, what we need to do is get rid of a bunch of people, is what he's saying. And he's saying that they want to sign a 7-year treaty. So it's not just an accident. Now, this is new information. September 13th, 2021, From the province of Saskatchewan, a minister's order. You may be saying, this is Canada stuff. What does this have to do with America? Actually, it may have a lot to do with America. This may be, in my opinion, hinting that suitcase nukes are about to go off in America. What? Look, now I'm just going to call your attention to the highlighted area. So it says, on the making of this emergency declaration is going to put in operation an emergency plan that will require local authorities to put into effect and to assume direction and control of the emergency response of a local authority, acquire and utilize any and all real personal property. But there's more to it. On the making of this, and there's a little close-up. I already read that, so I'll skip on. It'll also control and prohibit travel. Why would they do that? Why? Well, it's not over COVID. To me, I think the suitcase nukes are about to go off in America, and so this is the Canadian Moloch and Baal worshippers getting ready to take over Canada because something bad hit America. It says that it's going to give them control of distribution and essential supplies. They're going to be able to maintain and coordinate all law enforcement, the evacuation of people and remove all persons, personal property, skipping down, they can enter into any building, any land without a warrant. They can remove any trees, structures, or crops. All of this, it's a takeover of Canada. Why? Because America just got hit with suitcase nukes. That's my guess. Procure or fix prices for food, clothing, fuel, equipment, medical supplies. Conscript. That means they can basically say, you're going to go to work for us, you're going to do this. Conscript persons do all acts. And also, it prevails over any and all other laws. So this is a takeover document, a takeover of Canada. Why? Because America is in turmoil. Because probably America just got hit with suitcase nukes. Again, that's my guess. All persons are required to comply. Now, let me encourage you to do a couple of things. One is I encourage you to get this School of the Watchman and Teachers package. If you're a watchman, you want this. If you want to be a teacher, you want this. So we made my charts into these. I guess it'd probably be nice if I turned it up right side up. These charts, and they're really made of good vinyl. I mean, it's strong vinyl. You can stick it up on your wall. Here's one chart. Here's what the other chart looks like. So there you go. You got the charts. That's what they look like. So you get two. They're 2 foot by 3 foot. Nice vinyl charts to stick up on your wall. Great to teach from. Do a Bible study. You're going to need them. People are about to start asking what in the world is going on, and you want to be one of them that said, okay, sit down. Here, I'll explain. Also, you're going to get my handwritten book of Revelation, which looks like this. Okay, I actually wrote it all out when I memorized it. 5 DVDs from School of the Watchman, 5 copies of The Secret Door to Understand Bible Prophecy. All of this is valued $355 for a gift of $200. Now, I'm going to say something that's crazy here. So somebody emailed me this morning and said, Stan, can I just get the book of Revelation? And what would that cost? I said, well, if you were to go down and take it and have it Xerox off to someplace, you're talking about $75 because we checked. I said, how about $75 or, whatever you can send. So he mailed back and he said, all right, I'll send you $75 for the book of Revelation. So I come into my office to just send him the whole package for $75 because, at the end of the day, we're all brothers and sisters trying to win as many souls as we possibly can. So we suggest a gift of $200, and if you honestly can't give that, then let us know what you can send. I have to make some special arrangements with the office because they'll say, what? We're having people call and they're offering us. So honestly, try to do the 200. If you absolutely can't do the 200, well, let us know what you can do. AskStan at prophecyclub.com. Best thing to do is call the Prophecy Club office and they'll see what they can do. All right, now, these are what the charts look like. Awesome charts, years and years of studying. And this is the chart where I heard the audible voice say, the 7 seals play over 7 years. The 7 trumpets play over 7 months. The 7 vials play over 7 days, and of course they all end on the Feast of Trumpets here at the last trump. Also encourage you to get these 5 books. This is the best package of books we've ever offered. In this package, you get How Pre-Trib 1, you get Daniel, Miss the Mark, and God's Warnings for America and Understand Bible Prophecy. But it's not a single book. They're sets of books. This set is 10 books. This set is 10. This set is 10. This set is 5. This set is 5. So you actually get one set of all of the books for a gift of $100, and it's like, I don't know, somebody figured it up as like $800 or something is worth. All 40 books for a gift of $100. Why? Why would we do that? Well, obviously we're not trying to make money. We're trying to get the word out. Because at the end of the day, you and I want to stand before the Lord and hear, well done, thou good and faithful servant. We want to hear, look, you brought in 10 talents. Here's 10 more talents. We want to hear, you brought in 10 souls. So I'm going to bless you times 10. We want to hear that. So all of this is about soul winning. prophecyclub.com. I'll also remind you that if you need some kind of a device to protect your computer chips in your car, in your house, we're going to send you to EMPShield.com, promo code prophecy. If you need some kind of emergency food, then we're going to send you to heavensharvest.com, promo code STAN. If you need some kind of precious metal, gold or silver, then we'll send you to cornerstoneassetmetals.com. Just say Prophecy Club when you call. So, cornerstoneassetmetals.com, heavensharvest.com, promo code STAN, or EMPShield.com, promo code prophecy.